Hey YouTube, Travis here with Nostalgic Duelist. I just want to go over my Constellar deck, which is, one, this was actually pretty new to me, and two, it's actually very easy to create. And does not go without bounds. It's a pretty good deck, I do say so myself, but I had other people look at it and they said it was different from theirs, but it is a pretty well balanced deck. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the spell cards and or magic cards since they are the least amount. I only have one set of three, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll go over those. I have three Constellar Star Cradles. The reason being for having three of these cards is very easy. Constellar Star Cradle allows you to bring back two Constellar monsters from the graveyard back to your hand. So if you're running that combination XYZ summoning really easily, you can easily bring them back if you have some that require you to use up material. But if not and they were destroyed, you can easily bring them back and it can easily help you in a duel. So, recommend having, if you're going to make a Constellar deck, recommend having three Constellar Cradles, or Star Cradles. Alright, now I only have one of these, and it's for a good reason. I have one Constellar Star Chart, because every time a Constellar monster is XYZ summoned successfully, and on your side of the field, you can draw one card off the bat. Easily very good to have, and it can also help you with other things as well. So definitely recommend Star Chart for your deck. Constellar Belt, on the other hand, I might not really recommend this. It's good, but then again I'm trying to get this deck and feeling it, trying to get it to be as really good as all my other decks. Words can't really describe this deck because it's still in the process. Constellar Belt, what it does is that every time you use a Constellar effect, or an effect of a light type monster in general, you cannot stop that card from using it. So if you have something like Divine Wrath, or other cards that negate effects, with this card on the field, you cannot even use that card. So in a way, it like negates everything else. So it's really good to have. I do not really recommend this because if your opponents have light monsters, it can cause some trouble. Swords Revealing Light, simply because 3 turns. Who doesn't want to have 3 extra turns to try to do something and change a duel? It's just really good to have. Alright, now for my trap cards. Let's see. Alright, I don't have any single cards in this one, so I will bring up the doubles. I have 2 Magic Drain, 2 Nightmare Wheels, and 2 Sakuretsu Armors. The reason for having... Oh, sorry. I was just looking at the lighting there. The reason why I have 2 of each, not maybe 3, is because 2 Magic Drains, really good, and I really cannot get these cards. I can't get these cards out in particular to save my life a lot. So it's good to have just 2. I recommend only 2 of these and 2 of these for one specific reason. Drawing. If you can't draw them and you have a full set, it's a waste of space. Magic Drain, what it does is that if a person was to activate a magic card and or spell card, however you want to call it, you can use this card, and if they don't have a spell card or magic card in their hand to discard immediately, then the card is automatically negated and destroyed. So it's really good to have, and if they do, it just negates this card, so very good to have. Nightmare Wheel, like I said before when I was doing my Blue Eyes deck review, this card stops the person from attacking. They can't change their battle positions, and each standby phase they get 500 points of damage. Very good residual damage. Recommend only just 2 of them. Like I said before, not a full set only because half of the time, if I can't draw them half of the time, chances are your luck is going to be the same as mine. Sakuretsu Armor, simply because it does not matter what kind of monster it is, except if they're god cards, but aside from that, Doesn't matter what kind of monster it is. If they declare an attack, use this, destroy them. Simple. That's really it. Now, I have these 3 cards, which is probably something you maybe seen before. I don't know. But I like them, and it's proved to be very useful. I have 3 Constellar Meteors and 3 Defense Draws. Defense Draw is a very unique card. I've never actually seen this out of all the years I've played Yu-Gi-Oh! And collected cards. I've never seen Defense Draw whatsoever. And with Defense Draw, what it does, it pretty much acts like a Waboku and a Jar of Greed. If you remember those 2 cards, what Defense Draw does is that you get 0 damage for that turn. And you also get to draw 1 card. Very good to have. I recommend to have all 3 because who knows, maybe that next card you'll draw will be something that will help you change a duel. Constellar Meteor, this one's also a unique card only because, well, people who've made Constellar decks that I know, they said they never used it because they didn't need to, but it's really interesting. What the effect is when a monster battles a Constellar monster, and let's say they destroy the monster and their monster, the opponent's, is still there, you would be able to automatically return that card back to the deck. If it's an XYZ on the other hand, it would automatically return it back to the XYZ deck, and of course all the cards will be destroyed. So it's really good to use against XYZs and high level monsters. Now as you can see, like before, my spell and magic's little to nothing. My traps, it's bigger, definitely, because they are there to support, but here's the bulk of my monsters, as you can see. Alright, we're going to go ahead. I only have 1 single card in here, and that is Constellar Aurestia. Aurestia, I think that's how you say it. If you can put in maybe if you could do like a video response on how to pronounce that, to me it's just going to say Aurestia. But what he does is that he allows you to, when he's normal summon, you can special summon 1 Constellar monster from your hand and face up defense. So him being a level 6, if you had someone like someone like him in your hand, special summon him in defense, use his ability, and you could do the level modifications. Very good to have. I do not recommend him because, like I said, each in their own that have a Constellar deck, it's very different. When I actually asked the guy if this was a good deck or not, he looked at it and he says, this is really different from mine. I seen him duel with his. It's very different. But it's a very good card if you want to use this effect. Otherwise, he just has 2200 attack, so he's a decent monster. Now for my doubles, I do only have 2. I only have a set of doubles. I have 2 Algetis. There we go. 2 Algetis and 2 cows. I think that's cows. If you can also do a video description or a video response to how to pronounce his name, that would be much appreciated. But with Constellar Algeti, when this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 monster from your hand. He's a level 4. She's a level 4. That or it's a he, I don't know. But they're both level 4s. So in return, summon him, use the ability, use Death's ability. If level 5s, synchro summon automatically. Or level 3s, synchro summon, or even not synchro, XYZ summon, sorry. XYZ summon level 5s, 4s, or even 3s. Who knows? Really good to have. It has 1600, it's decent. But if you have 2 of them, it's really good just to do both of them, XYZ summon, and get it over with. I recommend only 2. For good reasons, and you'll see later. Or if you want to do a full set, go ahead and do that. Cows, recommend only 2 for one reason. Its effect. What its effect is, you can use it up to twice per turn. And you can either increase or decrease by 1 level. So like I said before, if you have him on the field and him, use this effect, you can either decrease both of them by 1 to make a level 3 XYZ, or increase both of them by 1 to get a level 5 XYZ. Very good, very handy, extremely handy for a Constellar deck. Recommend only 2. If you want, like I said though, if you want to do 3, it's okay, but it could be a little overpowering. And chances are you will be able to draw him. If not, there are plenty cards here that will help you bring him out. AKA defense draw. Defense draw, very good to have. And let's say you do draw him. Wow, there's already 1 out of 2. If you don't have that one or maybe some other ones, at least you have 1 of the 2. Recommend 2 calls. Definitely. Alright, now for my 3s, I'm just going to go ahead and probably see if I can fit this in. I'm going to have 3 Leonuses, 3 of you, and 3 of you. Alright, I don't know, you probably cannot see them, but I'm going to go ahead and go over them individually. Alright, I have 3 Leonuses because of his ability. With Leonus's ability is that you can easily, when you normal summon him, you can get one Constellar monster in addition to your normal summon. It doesn't even have to be a level 3. It could be the level 1, level 4, even a level 6, even a level 4, 5, 6, or whatever. Just remember, if you do anything like level 5s or higher, you're going to have to do the sacrificing, the tribute. But Leonus is a very good card to get out on the field. Just summon it out. Normal summons, normal summon, normal summon. You can even do this, and guess what? Ability, special summon. Automatically you have a full field of cards that you can use. And you can easily do multiple XYZs. It would really benefit you if you put Leonus in your deck. Like I said, if you don't, then it's okay, because it's the level 3, so that was one of the main differences between my deck and some others and others' decks. They didn't like level 3s too much. But Aldebaran, this one, the only reason why I have him is because, 1, I can get 1 level 3 from my hand to the field. It's really good. Leonus. And also I could put it in defense mode too, since it's a special summon. It's decent. It's only there for my level 3 XYZs, which I'll go over quickly. That's all. Nothing really big. I really don't recommend them having him in the deck. I'm actually going to try to find cards to replace them with, but for the time being, it's really good to have. Now, Sia. Excuse me. Sia. For some people, this is like the hidden gem of a Constellar deck. Siat's ability is extremely good. What it does is that once you summon this on the field, also if you have no monsters, you can special summon it from your hand to the field. But the main reason for this card's existence is its other ability. You can target any card in the graveyard, any Constellar monster in the graveyard, no matter if it's the level 5 billion or level 3. And whatever cards you pick, it's going to take on the level of that monster. So let's say you already have a level 4 on the field, and you had him on the field and you flip him up. Well, he can target any card in the graveyard. Let's say you had this card in the field and you had Kyle's in the graveyard, and you flip him, he can target Kyle's and he becomes that level 4. So in return, you can sync XYZ summon, not synchro. For some reason that's stuck in my head right now. But you can XYZ summon with him. He's very good to have. I do recommend a full set of him, because if you're stuck in a bind and there's nothing else you can really do, then it's a big problem. Alright, for my other sets of 3, I do have 3 Polluxes. And the reason why I have 3 Polluxes is only because of its ability. Again, like Leonus, when this card is normal summon, you can normal summon 1 Constellar monster in addition to your normal summon or set. Therefore, Leonis, normal summon him, and maybe another card. Again, full set, full field of cards. Really good. I do recommend 3 Pulixes. One has 1700, so it's a decent attacker. 2, its ability automatically brings out a card, so it's really good to have. And you can easily XYZ with it. This is where people start questioning too. So, I have 3 of those and 3 of these. Now, they also said they didn't really run too many level 5s because of Calls' ability to increase and decrease. But I have 3 Zubin Chamali, and 3 Virgos. Now, the reason why I have 3 of those cards is because with Zubin Chamali, his ability is when he's summoned on the field, I could take a level 5 from my deck and add it to my hand. So let's say this was in my deck, whoop, right in my hand. And with Virgo, if I summon it on the field, I can special summon a level 5 in defense. Bam! And there you go. Right there. Then its effect is activated. Can take another card back into my hand from my deck. Plus, XYZ. Level 5s. Right there. It's amazing. Plus, Virgo's a 2300 attacker. Zubin Chamali is a 2100 attacker. Very good to have. I do recommend, at most, if you want, or at the least, if you want for Virgo and Zubin Chamali, I recommend 2. The reason why I ran 3 in here is because I somehow was able to draw them when I needed it or when I didn't need it, and it proved to be useful in the end. Alright, now for my XYZs, you're probably wondering what I have now. Since I have level 3 level 3s in there for my Constellar, I have 2 level 3 Constellar Hades, or Hades. The reason why I have these level 3s is because, 1, if I'm going to use Leonis' ability, I might as well go ahead and have this. It's decent, it's not great, it has 1900 attack, but its ability states that if I can detach one XYZ, I can switch all monsters on my opponent's side of the field to defense mode. The once per turn, so if they had a weak defense, you can easily do some damage or do no damage, depends. I recommend maybe 1 or 2 like I have there because, again, to each in their own, not a lot of people have level 3s in their decks, so if you do, that's a pretty good choice to have. Especially if you can't draw Calls out anytime soon. For my level 4s, I have 2 Persepes, 2 Omegas, and that's pretty much it for the level 4s. Persepi, very good. Recommend 2 if you want 3. Recommend a 3 as well. I also recommend 3 Omegas if you want it in there as well. The only reason why I have 2 is because it's the perfect balance between both. The reason why I have balance in there is because you're probably thinking it's a Constellar deck. It is balanced, period. From whomever makes their deck, it's going to be balanced. Well, the problem is Persepi's ability and Omega's ability are different, and therefore maybe it can interfere. Maybe it won't. With Persepi's ability, if you are being attacked or if you attack, you can detach one and increase the card by 1,000. It could definitely change. It has 2400 base attack. Both of them have 2400 base attack. But with ability, bam, boost to 3400. You can definitely do some damage and or protect yourself. Omega's ability, use it. All Constellar monsters are not affected by magic or traps, because you can't target them with that. So, like I said, it is good, but again, make sure that, see I only have 2, because like I said before, it's a balance, and it will work with each other if you balance it out. Defense, attack, right there. So I do recommend, at the least, 2. If you want to run 3, go right ahead. Run as many as to your heart's content. Now I have for my level 5s, 2 Pallades and 1 Zenmail Zemayo. 2 Pallades and Zemayo because of their abilities. These cards are Guaranteed, recommended by me, recommended to have in a Constellar deck. If you have calls, better. Pallades, if you have, and it works with both turns, by the way, either player. If you have a card that you cannot get rid of on that field to save your life, whether it's yours or on their field, use Pallades' abilities. If they're going to summon a powerful monster, you can use it right then and there, stop it, destroy it, and anything that was used for it is automatically destroyed as well. Also, it doesn't have to be a monster. It can be magic or trap cards. Say, oh, they have Swords Revealing Light. Oh, that's no problem. You can just use it and return it back to their hand. You just have to be prepared that they will probably use it the next turn or so. But regardless, you just saved yourself from that turn. Or if it was a Dark Hole, any card, as a matter of fact, any card that would destroy monsters or stop you from doing anything, it's really good to have. Recommended. Zemayo, oh my gosh. You don't know how many duels you can win with Zemayo. He requires 2 level 5s, that's why Kyle's is in this deck. But with his ability, detach 1, and you can destroy 2 set cards on the field. 2. That could be yours, that could be theirs. You don't know. When you're gambling with Zemayo's ability, it's really good. You will win regardless. They had a full set of 5 on the field. Use Zemayo's ability. Use Pallades' ability if you want. But Zemayo, destroy those 2 set cards. What if that was a Torrential Tribute and a Mirror Force that you just destroyed? Those 2 cards are very, very important for duelists. If you destroy any one of those 2 cards, or even both of them, that can help you a lot, and it can hurt them a lot. But if they have other cards that can help them, then so be it. You just took your pick and you ended up doing good. Now, if you destroy a card that triggers upon being destroyed, then that can hurt, depending on what the card is. But there's where Pallades comes in. That's why I only have 1 of him and 2 of him. Pallades, if that card was to destroy anything, Pallades' ability will protect it by bringing it back to the hand. So again, it works really well. I recommend at least 2 of him and 1 of him. If you want to bring 2 of him, go right ahead. With a Constellar deck, the strategies are just limitless. The possibilities are just through the roof. It is definitely a card to have. These are definitely the 3 best cards you want to have in this deck. So that's pretty much it to my Constellar deck. You have all my XYZs here. All my monsters, which by the way is the majority of this deck. All my traps. And last but not least, all my spells and our magic cards. This is Travis with Nostalgic Duelist. I just gave you a deck review on my Constellar deck. And if you look at my past video, you will see I did a deck review on my Blue Eyes. It's a really good deck. I do say so myself, and I like it. It is balanced. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up for like, rate, comment, and subscribe for more deck reviews. And if you have any ideas of maybe what future decks you want us to review, well, go ahead, just put in the comments below on any of our videos for that, any of our videos that we're doing recently, and we'll go ahead and look them and see what deck you want us to do. We know that there's these new structure decks coming up. We also had the new Yugi and Kaiba reloaded decks that are going to be coming out, so those will be pretty cool once we get our hands on them and do reviews on them. If you want us to do anything in the future, you just go ahead and put it in the comments below, or shoot us a message, and we'll go ahead and try our best to do them. Also, tell your friends about us. If they like Yu-Gi-Oh! As much as we do, then go ahead. Alright, this is Travis with Nostalgic Duelist. I hope you guys have a nice day, and signing off.